is to make Mars seem possible. Make it seem as though it's something that we can do in our lifetimes, and that you can go. And is there really a way that anyone can go if they wanted to? I think that's really the important thing. First of all, why go anywhere? There are really two fundamental paths. History is going to bifurcate along two directions. One path is we stay on Earth forever, and then there will be some eventual extinction event. The alternative is to become a spacefaring civilization and a multi-planet species, which I hope you would agree that is the right way to go.
I am still muting myself. There we go. Okay, unmute. I had to unmute on like several things, like on the microphone, in Streamlabs and everything. But here we go. Welcome to Catch Up with Sonny. This is the third program, the third show that I'm doing, and this is the show where we talk about all things pop culture, things that I am definitely into. Things that we're watching on the channel, and this one is definitely something like we're going to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart, and that is Star Wars. If any of you out there know me, you know that I am a fairly big Star Wars fan, and it is definitely my favorite franchise of all time. So let me just check and see that people are here. At least some of you are. 1 minute late, shaking my head. I'm sorry, Hoople. I see that my mother is in the chat as well, saying nice music. And I can tell you that the music is actually from, it's actually the guest that we are getting today, Zachary, one of my oldest friends, best friends in the whole world. It's from his band, his group, Full Effekt, one of their instrumental intros that yeah, they allowed me to use here on the stream. So let's get into it. But before I bring on the guest and before we start talking Star Wars, I just want to do a quick non-spoiler review of WandaVision, because that's how I kind of started the last one. I'm not going to be talking about it for that long. I just quickly want to say that the third episode, I don't know about you guys out there, but the third episode, at least for me, it hooked me even more. Like if I wasn't hooked by like after watching the first two episodes, then the third one that certainly did it. It's spoiler free, of course, and the episode is called Now in Color. That's definitely not a spoiler that the episode is in color, because that's what we got at the end of the second episode, everything turning to color. And then we know that Wanda, she got pregnant rather quickly, and that's definitely a theme that they kind of continue in the next one. And then more mysteries, more intrigue, And then as I said, like it really hooks you definitely towards the end. I'm pretty sure it hooked me at least, and it hooked Kat, and that was a nice little surprise even for me that Kat was able to join me for the reaction for the third episode already, because I was saying in the first two in episode my reactions to episode 1 and 2 that she probably wasn't going to be able to join until after we finished season 5 of The Expanse, but thankfully she was able to do so a little bit earlier. That was really nice, and I hope that she will be able to be a part of the reactions going forward with WandaVision at least. And I know that this probably also has something to do with the fact that the first two episodes like really moved her, and she's very much into the whole Wanda and Vision storyline, like from the movies. So yeah, that's gonna do it for WandaVision at least. And then, as you can see, both like above me and below me as well, there are some links down in the description. So if you want to follow us on either Twitter or Twitch, there's Instagram as well, of course, Facebook, or if you want to support us on Patreon, that would be awesome. You definitely don't have to. And there's also another option for you guys to kind of join in the chat here during this live stream, and also support the channel while you're doing so, and that is the link above me, or I should do like this, where you can ask a question and donate through Streamlabs. Where I hope that I have made it so that the donations will now pop up on screen once someone if someone decides to put in a donation. I'm just going to do a quick tester with one of the ones from last week. I'm just going to use the last one I got from RT Will, so hopefully you can see it pop up on screen there. I know the writing is a little bit small. Maybe I should enlarge that at some point or enhance that. But at least it seems like it's working. I'm pretty sure that that it is. Okay. And yes, just like Hoople is saying in the chat, the press, yeah, they got 3 episodes early, which was smart, because the third one, it seems like that is the one that that people are like, it's the one that they got hooked by, at least. Okie dokes. All right, I am still getting used to all of this. It's doing these live streams is still kind of a new thing for me, but hopefully, yeah, we'll get more and more used to it, and managing all the little elements that I'm sitting with here. But in this stream, or during this show, I'm gonna bring in my guest, Zach, in just 1 minute, and we're gonna be talking about Star Wars. Some of our, memories that has to do with Star Wars, because we have been attending a lot of, premieres and conventions and stuff like that together. And then also we're going to be talking about the future of Star Wars. That is the title of this one. And the future is looking pretty bright at the moment. There are very many series, movies, even games, books, comics. It's all, in the pipeline there. But without further ado, I am going to bring in my guest. Let me just see here. Get him in from the waiting room. There he is. And and there we go. How you doing?
Shocked when you suddenly came on.
Yeah, sorry, and I just had you muted, so they didn't even hear that part. But
okay.
yeah, the stream on YouTube that that you're watching on the side there, yeah, it's a little bit delayed. So sorry, I should have told you that.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm here now. So yeah.
Yeah, and I just told the people that like the little piece of music that I played before the whole thing started, it's from your band group. What's your like preferred term there?
We normally say band, but we do hip hop and rap music, so I guess we should call ourselves a group.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we're a band of dudes. Yeah.
exactly,
Hi, Sonny.
exactly. Oh yeah, yeah. And yes, my as I said as well, like my mom is in the chat, and she and Saka.
Yeah, we go
Perfect.
way back.
Way back, way back, way back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And just for clarification as well, like the one playing the guitar in the video.
My little
That
brother. Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
Yes.
That's Alex, and he's quite good at that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
At
He
least
used to be the Padawan. Now he's just the Jedi.
he's just taken over now. He is the master. Yeah, yeah. And just as well with like usually you do play a lot of live shows and
Yeah.
not at the moment though.
Not recently, no.
No.
Like even the shows that have been available, stuff like where you sit down and it's a sitting audience and stuff. It doesn't really work because we're a party band and like all our beats are 120 BPMs or higher,
Yeah.
and it's all about this kind of rhythm, and you just can't do that sitting down, so it doesn't really make sense. So
No,
yeah,
yeah. That
we get to live the starving musician life and just sit at home and watch Star Wars. It's all right though,
yeah,
isn't it?
like many others are doing. But then it's a good thing that
Yeah,
there's a
exactly.
lot of new Star Wars coming. There's a lot of upcoming projects. Like yeah, full transparency here. We talked a little bit before starting the stream, and Zach told me that or you told me that you're not 100% maybe like familiar or up to date on everything that's going on. So maybe there's going to be some surprises for you as well.
Like I've seen all the official posts and stuff,
Yeah.
but I haven't been like actively searching for
No,
everything.
no.
Just also just because there's so much, I wouldn't know like where to start. I
Well,
have
yeah.
an idea about all of the things, but like there's so much coming out at the moment. I find it
Yeah.
easier just to meet up with you like every 2 weeks, and then we just talk about it, and you just tell me everything that's going on, and like yeah, that's perfect for me. That's all I need, just the Sonny recap, and then I'm good.
That's usually how it goes. Yeah, yeah.
And it has been about 2 weeks, I think, since you were last here telling me about Star Wars. So here we
Perfect,
go, man.
perfect. Yeah, perfect timing.
Yeah, dump on me, man.
I definitely will, definitely will. Just looking at the chat here. Because
Oh yeah.
keep an eye on it, because of course all you guys out there, you are very much welcome to just post any comments, questions in the chat, and I'll try to get to them. But as I also said up top, if you want to make sure that I get to your question or your comment, then you can submit it through Streamlabs, and the link is right up there. It's the video is mirrored, so I have to get used to that. Zach can do it. Yeah, it's right above him. Just
Where,
both
there?
hands. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
there's
Brilliant.
there's a link right there where you can ask your question and donate to the channel, which it helps out a lot because this is what I do for a living. And any which way you would like to support the channel, be it through Streamlabs, be it Patreon, or just liking this video, commenting, sharing it, subscribing to the channel, subscribing to our Twitch and Twitter, and we have Instagram as well. All the links are down in the description below for you guys to check out right there. But alrighty, Roo, diving back into the chat here just to see what people are saying, because sometimes they also tell me if I should turn something up or down,
Yeah.
how it all is, because I still need a little bit of help with all this. And and yes, Hubel is saying, Sonny, I think turn your volume slightly up to be on par with Sax. Okay. Well, my volume is turned almost all the way up.
Can you turn me down then?
That I can probably do, or maybe I can just speak up a little bit. But it is kind of.
I will speak calmly.
Yeah, speak calmly. Yeah, just bear with me here. Maybe I can go into some sort of settings on the computer. I'm sorry if you're seeing like the arrow on screen while I'm doing so, because I haven't really figured out how to hide that one yet. Devices, and then we go to fucking. No, I can't really. I'm just gonna speak up, and then I might turn your volume down a little bit, just so it's on par. So sorry, you guys out there, if you have to turn up your headphones or your computer or television, wherever you're watching, if you have to turn it all the way up. I apologize for that. I'll make sure that it is better next time. Or at least I can move the thing a little bit closer to myself. Maybe if I up the gain like this, is this maybe better? I think it's all right. As long as you can hear me a little bit. That's that's the most important part.
And I'll try not to yell.
Try, yeah.
All
right. Work, it's fine. SCN still has issues. Yeah, I know. They had the whole frame rate thing going on for a long time. I'm not gonna dive into that and just I'm gonna. Yeah, they were struggling a lot at the start of it. I don't know, like when I say SEN, Zach, that's the Schmodown
because I had no idea.
Schmodown Entertainment Network, because they do these like daily live shows actually, and then when they started doing it, they had some issues with the volume and the frame rate and stuff like that as well, and of course when this whole freaking pandemic hit, like they couldn't do it in studio anymore, so they had to do it the way that we are doing it as well right now, which is like through something like Zoom, where like even more technical stuff that you you have to make sure that it's all right. Okay, I don't think I can turn it up more than that at the moment, which is...
I think we're fine. We'll be fine.
I think we're fine as well. All right, then let's get to it. I think maybe let's just tell the people, just to start here, a little bit about what like our experience with Star Wars and how that how that thing all began. I wanted to like pick out some pictures, but I didn't really have time to do so. So this time around, it's not like last time when I had my father on, where oh shit, we already have a donation. All right, from Hooplehead. Zach, what's a funny, not too embarrassing story about Sonny? Maybe you can think a little bit about that, or unless you have one, just ready to go.
Let me think for like 5 minutes, and
all right.
I'll
then I'll just keep talking. Yeah, because going back and with Star Wars and you and me, because as I already also said up top, like we've been to a few premieres together, some
we have
conventions. One of the pictures that I showed last time around when I had my father on, or Major Dad as he's called here on the channel, Major Dad.
Yes.
I showed some pictures from when we were in line for Revenge of the Sith, in front of Palace in
you have
Copenhagen.
Pictures of that?
I do have pictures of that, like some of them at least, where I think your mom is in one of those pictures as well. I'm pretty sure Alex is there. Like they stopped by, and we were just camping there in a tent and waiting to get tickets. I think we were
there were so many people walking past all the time, and
yeah,
because like to the ordinary person, it's just the weirdest thing, especially in Denmark. People don't nerd out on the same scale in Denmark as they do like in America. You never have those like kilometers of people in tents. It's just like in Denmark, it's like 5 to 10 weirdos who go out, and it's the people who are passionate enough to do it. And it's so cold because they always do it around. It's always in the winter, isn't it? It was always a...
If I remember correctly, it was... Oh, yeah, of course, when we were trying to get the tickets, I think that was honestly like late November or early December
and it's
or something.
so cold. Just lying there with sleeping bags and people laughing at you like, haha, what are you doing? I just want to see Star Wars just like hours before you, mate. And it's going to be so good.
That's all we do. And we want to dress up in our costumes, and we want to celebrate it, and we want to... Like we ran around like in front of the cinema, and we were like fighting with like lightsabers, prop lightsabers. People were doing that. Set up a big tent as well with like a sofa and chairs, and people were watching. of course, Star Wars and like a big kind of like an old TV now.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
it wasn't a flat screen, definitely not. And the cinema, they were generous enough to lend us some power for for some of that stuff, at least.
Yeah.
I seem to remember. But you and I, yeah. I do
Yeah, it
remember
was
like
so
this is
fun, man.
not Star Wars, but that's when you introduced me to Family Guy. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
I'm pretty sure because I remember we were watching like the first couple of seasons of Family Guy when we were just in the tent
Yeah.
and just lying there.
Well, that makes sense because I remember coming back from England with like a box set of Family Guy DVDs.
That's the one you brought.
Ah, awesome. I got
I'm-
like all four seasons that were available before it got cancelled or something. I can't remember how it was.
Yeah, I think I got cancelled like a couple of times.
Nice. Okay, so you gave me Star Wars and I gave you Family Guy. I don't feel like it's fair, but I tried, man. I tried.
Well. They still did some Star Wars related stuff in Family Guy at least.
True.
They did
Yeah, it was good a
those
couple of times.
Blue Harvest and something Dark Side and
Yeah.
what was the third one? I don't remember. It wasn't that good.
No, they got
Progressively
just
worse.
but yeah, what are you gonna do?
Not much.
Do you remember when we were in the tent? Just quickly, the Star Trek community from Denmark, like the Danish Star Trek community, came by with like hot dogs or some shit. I can't remember what it was.
They had
came by,
sandwiches.
sandwiches and,
Yeah.
and like drinks and stuff. It was really funny.
It was like, yeah, that was really nice of them. And they were just like, well, even though this isn't Star Trek, it's like we're
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
these small fan communities here in Denmark. We have to help each
Peace,
other
guys.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
peace. And we were like, oh, don't do that. But yeah, but may the force be with
It
you.
was so
Give us the
funny.
sandwiches and fuck off.
It was so funny. There's like this guy in a Darth Vader costume like all day when we were there.
Yeah. I remember that as well. I do also remember. I don't know if you were there at that point, or if you were in the tent or what. Like, I remember
I was only there
someone.
for like 2 days or something.
Yeah, I was
Not
there for
as-
like 5, I think.
That
But
sounds about right. Yeah.
yeah, I remember this weird sound, just like something hitting the tent in the middle of the night. Something like,
Yeah.
and then it was like a stream of something wet.
Oh
And then
no.
of course it hit me like, oh yeah, we're right next to a lot of bars and restaurants. So someone decided to, yeah, I'm just gonna go and urinate on this tent because why the fuck not? And my dad just went fucking like straight
Oh,
out of there.
God.
And like if he had caught him, that guy, oh, I would feel sorry for him almost. And you guys know Major
He
Guy.
had no idea. That
No.
guy has no idea how
You-
close he was.
You don't want to piss that guy off. You definitely do not want to piss that guy off. And he would
My God.
my dad, he I think we still have that tent. Like he was quite fond of it as well. So oh yeah. Oh, we even have someone here in the chat saying hello, gentlemen. The future of Star Wars, Mandalorian, Bad Batch, Book of Boba Fett, Rangers of the New Republic, Ahsoka. Oh yeah, that's some of it at least, and we're definitely gonna get into
And then-
all of that stuff. Yeah.
But is the point that that equals the Mandalorian motion picture?
That's at least what they've said is some of these series that are running in the same timeline. I'm pretty like that's the Mandalorian. Excuse me, the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett that announced like at the end of the Mandalorian season 2, and Rangers of the New Republic and Ahsoka. It's all in the same timeline, and they're all
Yeah.
gonna culminate in a big climactic event. So I don't know if that is a movie or if it's gonna be like another series, limited series event where it all like just comes together. And I'm pretty sure that Grand Admiral Thrawn is gonna be the overarching villain in this.
So
Maybe
that would be like the Avengers film, and he would be Ultron.
something like that. Yeah. Or Thanos, however you wanna do that comparison. And that's also exciting just when it comes to that character, Grand Admiral Thrawn. I don't know how familiar you are with him. You haven't seen Rebels, right?
No, I haven't really gotten into the whole animated side of of Star Wars. Like I've started a couple of times, but there's just been so much that I haven't been able to keep up with it. And then like work into the studio and shows and stuff. At some point I just need to like take 3 weeks and just do it. Just do it.
Exactly. It can be a bit overwhelming because there's a lot. Like
there's so much. There's so much, and every time I think, okay, I'll try, then there's like a whole new thing to add on top of.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
There's even more coming out, and admittedly, like some of the storylines in both Clone Wars and maybe also some of the Rebels episodes, it can seem very filler, and especially some of the early Clone Wars stuff, it can be a bit too kid friendly. I guess I should say.
But kind of. I have an idea that when I have kids someday, I'll watch like all that stuff with them.
Yeah.
I might just save it because I don't enjoy it as much as I enjoy watching like the original trilogy or even the prequels. Like because it's awesome and stuff, and I can see. Like, I see the value, but I think I might just wait until I have someone more on. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I might just save it and then just
I did show you the last 4 episodes of season 7.
Yeah. And I've seen like main arc episodes like across seasons, so I've skipped like through the Clone Wars.
Yeah, you've seen some of the Maul stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's also some of the best.
But I haven't seen all the stuff in between.
No,
So
there's a lot
like
to
7
get
whole
into.
seasons I haven't seen, basically.
Yeah.
I've seen 20 episodes or 15 episodes or something like that.
So yeah, there's a lot to get into, definitely. But yeah, what I just wanted to say with Grand Admiral Thrawn is he is this character that got introduced actually all the way back in the early 90s in a series of books written by Timothy Zahn, where he was, the big baddie after Return of the Jedi. And he was like taking over, and he was very strategic guy, very, very hard to beat, and became quite the popular character, just in the fan base because of those books. And at that point, there hadn't been any, new Star Wars for a while. So that was like the only new Star Wars, and he was the big new baddie. And then of course when Lucasfilm they got bought by Disney, they did that whole thing where they said like all the old books, the EU, it's now Legends, it's not canon anymore. So those books with him all of a sudden like they weren't canon. But then they decided to bring the character back, or just reintroduce him in the new canon, and they did that in Rebels. So like instead of using him as a villain like post Return of the Jedi, they used him as a villain like pre A New Hope, and that worked out pretty well. But and I guess this is a bit of a spoiler alert for you.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
He doesn't die in Rebels, obviously, because now there are these rumors that he is still doing things post Return of the Jedi, where we saw in Mandalorian when Ahsoka, she was like, "Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?" So yeah, and the cool thing is that he was voiced by Lars Mikkelsen
who's still alive
in Rebels, and I don't think it has been confirmed, but might as well be.
He probably wouldn't mind doing it, would he?
No, I mean, I'm sure like there's been a lot of talks and rumors that like he has been in talks to reprise that role and play it in live action, and they also did that with some of the other or with one other actress who voiced the character Bo-Katan. You saw her in the Mandalorian.
I saw that was the same.
Yeah, and she voiced the character as well in both Clone Wars and Rebels. She has a long history like that character. So taking a voice actor and like bringing them in and letting them play their character in live action, like the fact that they're actually doing that, I think is pretty damn awesome. I know they didn't do it with Ahsoka. There might be like many reasons for that, but I thought Rosario Dawson, she did a really good job with that character.
It's quite a catch to get her for us,
right?
A series, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and she
that's
was
how
like
I felt. I thought that was really really impressive that they got her on the show.
Yeah, and she was like a fan casting before that. Like people had been like bugging Lucasfilm about it, and like just pushing her and saying like she should play Ahsoka in live action. And then she kind of responded to one of those things at one point and was like, "Oh yeah, I would love to." So maybe it got started that way, and
Nice.
I love it when the community can, you know, participate or just chip in some way with some of this stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Nice. But yeah, the whole Thrawn thing, I remember reading about Thrawn before they did the Disney trilogy, because people were talking about, ooh, what could it be? What could it be? And there were loads of rumors about, like on Reddit and stuff, people were talking about he's going to be the big baddie. And then they kind of, nope. And oh, okay, what's going on now? Yeah. Yes. And then we got the Disney trilogy and stuff.
Yeah, and then we got the Disney trilogies, and yeah, we're not going to talk too much about those.
No.
We don't have to. We don't have to.
No, thank you.
We certainly don't have to. Oh, and I almost forgot. Like I didn't show this to the people, but I have a special light behind me here. Oh, Star Wars ambience. I'm just gonna turn it off, otherwise it's just gonna buck me through the whole thing. But I thought, why not? That's my Anakin Skywalker lightsaber. I know it technically it was also well, yeah, Luke inherited it and then Rey got it, but to me it's still Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber, because that's, you know, the original owner of that thing.
Definitely, man, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, besides us, you know, just laying in front of a cinema and just waiting to get tickets for Revenge of the Sith, we also went to a Star Wars celebration together.
Yes, in Germany.
In Germany, one of the European ones, when they still did that. They did it for just like a few. We went to the one in Germany, in Essen.
Essen, yeah, which is just as far away in Germany you could get from any location, I think.
Pretty much, it was just out there. Yeah,
it took forever.
it was a long trip. But there wasn't that too many like big news at that point, because it was still like before the sequel trilogy came out. If like there was of course the animated stuff was going on. I think they were on like season 4 or 5 of the Clone Wars at that point. So not a lot of new Star Wars, but it was still, you know, what Star Wars Celebration used to be, which was just celebrating what we have of Star Wars, celebrating the original trilogy, celebrating the prequels.
It was just pure nostalgia. It was
pure
awesome.
nostalgia, exactly. Yeah. And for like you and I, you know, growing up, of course, we love the original trilogy. That will always be fucking goat. But the prequels, it's like we grew up on them, and I
loved them too. I loved them maybe even more as a kid. Like as a kid, I definitely liked episode 2 and 3 and 1 more than I liked the old ones, because they were just so much fun. And then as I grew older, it was like, okay, I really like the original trilogy now.
Yeah. I remember as well, like growing up, that Empire Strikes Back was like, as a kid, was probably my least favorite, but it's because it's the most mature out of the whole bunch.
Yeah.
The
now it's my favorite. Well.
Yeah, but same here. And I was like, it's absolute best of all of them. But it's funny how like it can, and that's a good thing about the cool thing about Star Wars is there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to like what you know, what movie or whatever content inside of Star Wars you prefer. There's something for everybody of all ages, and you might change your mind when you get older. You may not, but it's all Star Wars, and it's all like it's when we're gonna get into some of the new projects. Like there are definitely some of it that's gonna appeal to others, like to some more than others.
Definitely,
and that's what I love about it, is that there can be these like we can all love Star Wars, but you don't have to love everything or certain things to be a true fan. if you know what I mean. It's like you can.
No, and
There are no
I feel
rules
like
there.
even like there's none of it that spoils um, the original films for me.
No, not
You know,
me,
so
me neither.
just just you know, just go for it, Disney. Just make something and do it as just
yeah,
yeah,
put
just go for it. And yeah,
the
if I
only
like it, I like it, and if I don't, then somebody else will. But I'll
hopefully.
always have the old movies.
Yes,
And
we will always have the original trilogy, no matter what happens.
yeah,
And
and a lot of the new stuff as well.
definitely, it's
Just
always
not
going
the
to be there.
films.
Like even the people saying that, oh, it might be a possibility that they're going to retcon the sequel trilogy and remake them. Nah, I really don't see them doing that. That would just be a kick in the groin to all the people who worked on those movies. Even though, like, you
And
can
people
say,
who paid to see them.
yeah,
I mean, for fuck's sake.
you can say whatever you want about it and whatever you like, but still, like, a lot of work went into those movies, and I definitely have my like issues with them and my gripes and the fact that they didn't really plan the whole thing out. That's like my biggest thing there is just why didn't you just plan out a story structure from 7 to 9 instead of
A, B, C.
exactly.
Instead of
Oh,
just, okay, we'll start with A and then we'll see what happens. And then,
yeah, and then we'll just give B
okay,
to this this other guy. And like, what do you want to do with it? Just whatever. Oh, you could. Oh, you really went off and did your own thing, huh? Okay. Well, oh shit. Okay, what are we gonna do now? Colin Trevorrow, do you want to? Oh no, you just made a movie that got bad reviews. You're fired. Okay, JJ, you want to come back and pick up where Ryan left off? And like, he just did something
it was
I
just,
would never have
yeah.
done. Why didn't you talk together? Why didn't you plan this thing out? And that's not only on Kathleen Kennedy. She's a producer. She's not necessarily just the
No,
one
I
who
blame
manages the
everyone.
creative. Yeah, everyone over
Blame
there.
everybody.
Everybody, like someone should have just spoken up and something fucking thing.
Mark Hamill did. He's a fucking
Hamill
hero.
did,
He's a legend.
and many of us are at fault for not listening to the guy back
What are
then
you gonna
maybe.
do? What are you gonna do?
Either
But
way.
yeah, it doesn't make sense to redo the films. It makes better sense to just start somewhere new
Hmm.
and just do a really fucking good and competent job, and just yeah, just do it awesomely
Exactly.
and
And
good. That, you know what? I wouldn't mind if they did the last season of Game of Thrones. If they just said, okay, we admit it, that was terrible. That was awful. It could not have been worse, and we are
yeah,
redoing it
yeah.
because that was bullshit. And you guys are probably still fucking paying your stupid subscriptions, so we at least could give you that
Yes,
because they owe us that because that was shit.
that
But
was
yeah,
some
Star Wars
shit.
again. Star Wars again.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to say that.
No,
I wouldn't
no,
mind
no.
if they. I wouldn't mind if they did that.
No, me neither. That would actually be one of those where I would welcome it. I'm
My
pretty sure
God.
it would never happen.
No.
Also because all the stars and everything, like they've moved on, all the actors, like they will have to recast a lot of
All the
people.
fans have moved on as well.
Yeah,
I
people aren't
mean,
really that excited about all the potential prequel series for Game of Thrones either. There's a House of Dragon, and now they're talking about doing these short novellas that George actually wrote, so they do have source material for it, but it's called Dunk and Egg.
yeah,
Which doesn't sound
a
that appealing of a
basketball
title.
spin-off.
With an egg. This bald guy just dunking all the time. No,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not excited. It might be good. It might be really good. Who knows?
We'll see. But
I'm not excited in the least.
yeah, but some series that are coming, and let's say Return to Star Wars, that's
Yeah,
hopefully is going to be good because they
Yeah.
have really proved to us with the Mandalorian, or at least David and John, that they can definitely handle this, or at least the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian, I would argue, is some of the best Star Wars that we have gotten in, like, since the original trilogy. He's also one of the things that they do is like they don't just do an homage to Star Wars through that. They're
Yeah.
also doing to what influenced Star Wars, which are some of the old samurai Kurosawa films, westerns. I know you've been
Yeah.
watching some of the Kurosawa
I've just
films.
I've just seen 6 of his films like in a row because you told me Ghost of Tsushima was really good.
Yeah.
So I bought it and I just played it for like 100 hours over a week. And then I watched like 5 of Kurosawa's films, and it made me like really nostalgic about old Western movies and stuff, because my dad used to show me like all Clint Eastwood movies, because my dad thinks he looks like Clint Eastwood. He does kind of look like Clint Eastwood, but maybe not as much as he thinks he does. But like, yeah, so I got like really into it, and then I started reading about Kurosawa and how George Lucas and Spielberg were the ones who kind of gave him his honorary Oscar and stuff, because they were huge fans of his, and how he influenced Star Wars, and like it was just awesome. And so you're just sitting here watching these awesome black and white movies about Jedis in Japan, basically, and it was just sweet. I just had the best week.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch some of those as well, because I'm not really up to date on that. And yeah, as you said, like I told you about the Ghost of Tsushima, and maybe some of the people watching remember me playing it over on Twitch and actually really, really, really enjoying that game.
It's so fun, yeah. I just completed it though, and then it kind of fizzles out. Like once I completed it, I didn't really feel too passionate about doing more stuff.
No, but I wouldn't mind them doing a sequel at some point, just continuing on that vein. And I guess we could just comment on this, and I'm just gonna tell you guys watching as well, like there's no like real structure to this to this show. It is talking. It is laid back talking a lot of the time, and if there's something that we find really
I keep
interesting,
going off.
no, don't apologize. That's what I'm saying. Like if we go off on a tangent in one or direction or another, I hope you guys don't mind, because it is just talking about this stuff. And once again, if you want to join in the conversation, then you can do so in the chat. Definitely, I'm going to take a look at it in just a second, but also through Streamlabs, and that will pop up on the screen, and then I will definitely notice it. So yeah. But yeah, talking about games, at least now that we've gotten into it, that's one of the studios, Sucker Punch, I think, that did Ghost of Tsushima. I wouldn't mind like giving those guys a crack at a Star Wars game.
They'd be fantastic at it.
Right?
They'd be so good. The whole thing where you change fighting stance and stuff, it was so good, because normally you just get stuck in that kind of game where it's just, you realize at some point, I'm just pressing like heavy attack or quick attack.
Yeah.
But in this game, you have to like constantly think about like your surroundings and what kind of enemy you're fighting. Does he have a spear? Does he have whatever? And it was just so fucking good. And if they did that with lightsabers and all kinds of all Star Wars related things would just work in that kind of gameplay.
I think it really would, yeah. Because
I think people should start a petition, and we should just go ahead.
Oh yeah, I would love that. I would definitely love that, because as you're saying, like with the different fighting styles, and that's very much in the vein of like with Star Wars, and that's we have that. It's canon. Like there are these many different lightsaber fighting styles that depends on the situation and your opponent, and it would just work so well. Instead of, as you say, like in most games, when you got like melee combat, be it with weapons or whatever, where it's a light attack or a heavy attack, and then maybe you'll get some extra abilities. Like I know that's what they're doing in Assassin's Creed, and that's Ubisoft is one of those studios that have gotten some of the Star Wars license, or the license to do a Star Wars game, a big open world Star Wars game, which I am excited about it, definitely, because that's what I want, is a big open world Star Wars game where I can just run around as a Jedi, bounty hunter, smuggler, whatever the hell. But I'm just a little bit concerned when it then comes to Ubisoft, because I wasn't a big fan of the combat in the latest Assassin's Creed game, because it just felt a little bit clunky to me. So I would just hate it if it's just light and strong attacks with a lightsaber, or just hack at your enemies with a lightsaber. That's not it needs to be graceful. Just like Ghost of Tsushima, it needs to be graceful and quick. And if you're not good at parrying or dodging, being a Jedi, you're gonna get hurt. Like if you get hit by someone in Ghost of Tsushima, like if you get too many hits during combat, you're fucked. Like you have to really be strategic about it. And I would love for them to implicate something like that in a Star Wars game, especially when it comes to lightsaber fighting, because we haven't really gotten. Well, we had Jedi Fallen Order. Did you complete that one?
No, I think I played it with you for a little bit.
You have to. Like I'm gonna have to like loan you that game then, because
Definitely.
it's actually really good. And the
I'm not busy
lightsaber
that day.
combat is perfect. And the lightsaber combat in that one as well, I did enjoy, the force powers and everything. But for me, to like some of the best lightsaber fighting in a game, in a Star Wars game, you have to go all the way back to something like Jedi Outcast or Jedi Academy. Do you remember those games?
Yeah, like
You
from
can play them
way
on
back,
PC.
Yeah, but my computer when I was growing up was always the shit one. Like I would show up to like lands and it would just not work. Like, it was horrible. It was horrible. But yeah, like I remember coming to your place and playing those games and stuff. But honestly, there's a guy saying Jedi Academy had switching between stances and stuff.
Exactly, that's what I was getting at. Yeah, you could switch in between stances there, and even like if you chose to do like a double-bladed lightsaber, or if you had two lightsabers or just one lightsaber, there were more stance possibilities if you had just the one lightsaber. So that was actually, if you were really good at using the stances, then just having the one lightsaber was in many cases better than dual wielding or using a double-bladed lightsaber, because that limited your movement, and it made so much sense. And that's a game from like the early 2000s. So it's just do that.
Just give us a sequel to that one. I don't care.
Exactly. Or you can also, like, I wouldn't mind if they just did a remaster. I know they have re-released some of those games on consoles, or maybe it's just Steam. I'm not sure. But you can at least play them again, and they're kind of pushing them to the forefront again, some of these games. But I wouldn't mind like a remastered version, just like they did with like they're doing with many games like Crash Bandicoot and so on. Many other games.
It's awesome. Like you sit there playing something, and you're like, oh my god, I remember these sounds.
Exactly.
Like, the sound effects are just so.
And I see. Oh, sorry, Will. I'm just gonna replay that one that you put up there. Donation from RT Will. Still holding on for that Detroit Become Human playthrough. Yes, I'll have to get to that at some point. Do you know that game?
What?
Detroit Become Human. It's a PlayStation exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. It's very much. It's a few years old, I think. It's very much like a very story-driven game. Do you remember Heavy Rain? That was out at some point, and there was also another one called Two Souls, I believe, where they used like real famous actors like Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe. Like you're basically playing a movie, but you're making the decisions as you go along.
Okay. So it's like,
and then like the story will branch off, like depending on what you choose to do. So yeah, and then the Detroit Become Human, like supposedly, like it's a really good game, and sci-fi as well. So yeah, sci-fi. Yeah, I have to check it out at some point, and I want to get into like some of these more very focused story games, because I like big open world games where you can just put in like hundreds and hundreds of hours, but I also really like these like tight story games, like story focused games.
Definitely.
Like you might finish it in like between 8 and 12 hours or something, but then you just get so much out of it. Like each minute is just something like Uncharted. I would say like Last of Us as well is very story centric.
So much fun with Last of Us,
Yeah. Did you play the second one as well, or?
I haven't played the sequel. No.
Oh, okay. That's almost like bringing up The Last Jedi or politics. Like people, like it's either people
I noticed that
or love it.
I was on Reddit the day it came out, and people were just, oh my god, and then oh my god, no. And I had no idea what was up and down. I just
no.
Somebody just wrote in the comment, if we remember Jedi Power Battles on PlayStation, and I really vividly remember that game. That was so much fun, just slashing at your mates.
Yeah.
I just had like a huge flashback moment. I had to Google it to make sure it was the game I thought it was. That was awesome. If they remastered that, that would be fantastic.
Something like that, definitely. Like just a fighting game in Star Wars, which is a fight simulator where you can just play around with your fantasies in a way where you could just, what would it be like if Maul and Vader went up against each other, sort of a deal.
Sweet, yeah.
That was a lot of fun though. Yeah, the power battles, I definitely remember that, and some other ones as well. Like some of them were pretty decent. Like a lot more Star Wars games just came out back then compared to what we've gotten in the recent years. It's when
definitely it's been so weird. I can't believe that you get I don't know how you abuse like exclusive rights to make games, and why did they just not get on with it then? They had the exclusive rights for years and they just did basically nothing with it. I mean, Battlefront eventually it got good, but it just, I don't know, it wasn't they never did the big, like, wow, it used to be game breaking whenever a new Star Wars game came out. You like felt like, wow, this is fantastic. This is
and so many different
new take on a game. Exactly. They used to be really, really good. And now it just felt like EA were just doing what everybody else was doing and then just slapping a Star Wars skin on it.
Yeah.
Like they tried to do Battlefield, basically.
Yeah,
they just did that, and then with Star Wars, and it's like, but the graphics were fantastic and stuff.
Beautiful,
it was impeccable.
Graphics.
But it was just
music,
doing what everybody else was already doing, but with Star Wars.
They even hired the company that did Battlefield to do
Battlefront.
Where that's not how it was with the old Battlefront games. That was I don't remember, Pandemic Studios or something. I think they were called. Oh, that name has a different ring to it now, doesn't it? Pandemic Studios. I think that was the name of it back then. I don't think they're active anymore either.
Definitely not anymore. No.
They should have. If they are, then they should probably change it. But with EA we've gotten Battlefront 1 and 2, and then Fallen Order. That's pretty much it. Oh, and then Star Wars Squadrons, which I'm still working my way through. I've been trying to stream some of it. It's just there's some major audio issues every time I stream it, where like people can't hear it on the stream, but in my headphones, the sound is just like scratching. There's this scratching sound noise like all the time, like in the back, where it's just like that just ruins the entire experience for me when I'm playing it in VR. It also kind of takes you out of it as well.
Is it any good, the game?
I think so. It's a bit overwhelming in VR. I haven't played it outside of VR. It is quite overwhelming sometimes sitting in that cockpit and just going like, oh, where the fuck are those other ships?
Yeah.
And trying to turn around and they're behind you, and you do like the dogfight where you like just chasing each other in a fucking circle, and it can be a bit much. Like I was never really into like doing the big space battles in Battlefront either, because I was so freaking bad at it.
I always sucked at that part.
Much to do like the infantry thing, and where you can get a hero and then go on a kill streak. That was way more fun, at least. I should look into like playing Battlefront 2 as well. Maybe you and I could do that on the Twitch
definitely
at some point, and just have some fun with it, because I'm sure a lot has happened with that game. I was fairly good at it when it came out, but that was also when the game was kind of shit. So with the loot boxes and everything, so I'm sure it has just improved by now.
Reddit kind of got me convinced that it was not worth investing, and then I bought it like months later, I think. And then I just started playing Apex, I think, and then it just took off. And
we have to do an stream as well, because we always
definitely
playing that. You, me, and Alex, and we can definitely just switch to English while we do it. It's not an issue at all. Because as I'm sure many has noticed by now that you have a very British accent, and that's for a reason.
Yes.
I
hail from
England. Exactly. It's not all like almost couldn't just call it your second language. It's like you have dual languages, or you grew up with like speaking both Danish and English, right?
Yeah, and like definitely grew up speaking more English almost, because my mum always talked about the house like it was an embassy. It was like part of the UK, but in Denmark. So
Yeah.
we spoke English in the house because this house was in England.
And I had to learn, like when
Exactly.
I came and visited you guys, and then that helped me out a lot though, because that's, you know, I learned English like way sooner than everybody else in my class at that point. That was just
That's awesome.
that was really nice. And then I of course also had my dad like just drilling, you know, a lot of English with me, and just making sure that whenever we went out on travels, that, oh, you want something, go and ask like yourself. Like, I'm not gonna do it.
I mean,
for
it
you.
worked.
Yeah.
Your English is fucking fantastic, mate.
Oh,
And
thanks.
you're doing streams and shit, so it must have yeah.
It's yeah, like now I've gotten quite used to it. Like sometimes, of course, it's still like I still get the occasional blah 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 moments, and
I do that too, mate. Though, so
yeah, even
worry
with
about it.
Danish as well. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll fuck it up as well, mug it all up.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me just have a quick look.
But
at
only
the
a Dane
chat.
would know that you were mucking it up, because Danish is just the weirdest language.
It really is. I spoke
Listening
Danish.
to it objectively.
Yeah, I spoke Danish on an interview the other day for the whole Schmodown thing, because someone in the chat was just like wanted me to like trash talk one of the hosts in Danish, and I panicked because I didn't know what to say. I hadn't prepared anything, so I just I just fired up a lot of gibberish in Danish. It didn't really make a lot of sense, but nobody knows. Like, and I'm pretty sure not a lot of Danish people are watching that channel. Didn't really matter what I said anyway, because
No.
there's the saying that Danish is, or I think maybe it's Danish and Dutch or something, are the only two languages spoken by both humans and penguins, because it's so, yeah, can't make sense of it. I don't know where that saying comes from. Maybe it's just something my dad just told me, and it's just something he came up with. I'm pretty sure he's the one who told me that.
Yeah.
It's not a fact.
No, we can speak some Danish if you want.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, we've been. This is yeah, I told you like before we start this thing that I don't know for how long we're gonna keep going, but we've been going for almost an hour and we haven't gotten into the future
Anything.
projects. No, this is what happens, guys, when me and Zach get together. Like we just talk a lot. Like we always have something to talk about, at least.
Definitely.
A lot of the time it is Star Wars, but yeah, nothing wrong with that. Not at all. But all right, I have the future Lucasfilm projects thing here that popped up back in December last year. So I have that
last
ready.
year.
Well,
3 weeks
technically it
ago.
is.
Yeah, but it sounds so dramatic. Like, oh my god, yonder over there when it happened.
The December last year.
Yeah.
And the news actually broke when I was right when I was doing like a Twitch stream, and I was getting to like the end of my first playthrough session of Cyberpunk, and then the news broke, and then I just had to like talk about it right then and there. So that's the thing that I brought up again, because I think that's still like the best list that I can find. It's from the official Star Wars website, so yeah, why not? And the first thing here that they mention is one of the movies. So yeah, let's talk about the upcoming movies first, because that is what Star Wars has been for the longest time, is movies. That's where everything hails from. It's the movies, and so one of the upcoming ones, so the one that's closest at the moment is Rogue Squadron by Patty Jenkins, the director behind Wonder Woman. I haven't seen the new Wonder Woman. Have you?
I chose not to, because I went on IMDb and I was like, should I watch this? And then I concluded that maybe I shouldn't watch this.
Same thing. It's like I know that some people have said it's enjoyable, and there are some things that you just have to maybe ignore or not think about, but always when like when a lot of people are saying about a movie that I don't know if you should watch it or not, then it's not at the top of my list, at least. Like there's a
No,
lot of other stuff that I would like to get into. But
yeah.
the interesting thing about her doing Rogue Squadron is that her father was a fighter pilot, so she
Ooh,
has like a personal connection to these, you know, fighter pilot stories. So she's been wanting to tell one for a long time,
and she
and
got to do it in a Star Wars film.
yeah, like she's just been waiting for the
Fantastic.
right project. And then during Rogue Squadron, do you remember the game Rogue Squadron? That was also
It was like a really old, like it was, what do you say, like a first-person space shooter game, basically, was it?
yeah. I think you could also do it in third person. It was one of the not one of the earliest ones. It was not one of the TIE Fighter versus X-Wing games that was, more flight
Ah, okay.
simulator in a way, and very old school as well. Like those games are still awesome, but they were fucking difficult. This was a little bit easier, a little bit more accessible, and the graphics was well, you could see that it was Star Wars ships, and they had like an awesome, Hoth battle, the beginning of the Empire Strikes Back, like recreated
Yeah.
that in that game, and
Oh,
and
yeah, and
then
you
and
flew around and
yeah, in the
right.
in the speeders, and then
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
you you played as a member of Rogue Squadron, one of my favorite games, and you just did all these missions and so on. And Rogue Squadron is like this squadron Star Wars on the Rebel side that has just been there for a long time, and they've at one point Luke was the leader of Rogue Squadron, and then Wedge Antilles became like the leader for a long time, and even going back to like the first Rogue One. We got it in the movie Rogue One.
Ah, okay, yeah, yeah.
So that's also where it stems from. So I don't know exactly, timeline wise, where this is going to be, like if it's going to take place when Rogue Squadron kind of got formed, because that would be very close to the original trilogy, or if they're going to tell us, some stories of, about Rogue Squadron in between episodes 6 and 7. That would also make a lot of sense, because that is kind of like the timeline that they're exploring a lot at the moment, with all the
Yeah,
upcoming
yeah.
series and Mando and all
And it
that.
does seem like they're trying to contain things within a Marvel-esque structure, doesn't it?
Mm.
Like it makes sense to have like
Yeah. They found
things
out
placed within a
that
within a
whole
grid.
thing works, planning it out like that. Like they don't have like a Kevin Feige who oversees like everything creatively like Marvel does. But I believe someone like Jon Favreau or Dave Filoni, like they can definitely do that, and they are doing that with those series that I mentioned earlier, that all
Yeah.
will culminate in a big climactic event thing, with starting with the Mandalorian. And I see Oba Smith here in the chat saying, fun fact: the actor who plays Wedge Antilles is the uncle of Ewan McGregor. I don't know if you knew that. Oh shit! I accidentally moved the.
I did not know that. No.
That I did know about that. But it's a fun little piece of trivia where, actually I think his name is Dennis Lawson, and he brought Ewan to set when he was just a kid.
Ah, that's awesome.
So like Ewan McGregor, he was actually there as a kid, and like behind the scenes at some point with something Star Wars related, all the way back. I'm pretty sure. So it's just
Alec
funny to
Guinness
think
gave
about.
him his lightsaber. No.
Yeah,
No.
handed it down, and like, you're gonna
Yeah.
be Obi-Wan now. That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's definitely, that's the one I'm looking forward to the most. And I'm pretty sure many people are, like, series wise, Obi-Wan Kenobi, getting Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan.
Yes.
That's
I hope he
something we've been
sings.
wanting
No.
for.
No, but I really love Ewan McGregor. He's
I
fantastic.
I love that guy too. He's
Yeah.
amazing. But yeah, sorry. Rogue Squadron, at least that's a movie that is coming, and it's so far it's scheduled to arrive in theaters Christmas 2023. So
Jesus. So that's
Yeah, but yeah, like just with how things are at the moment, we have to wait for
Yeah,
all
definitely.
movies anyway. Like
There'll
Bond
be
just
so
got.
much stuff we want to pack into, like when it opens. Then, oh my God, we'll have
Yeah, they have to
more
space
than
it
enough
out
stuff
a
to do.
little bit. Like we have to be
Yeah,
patient here, because yeah, they keep pushing stuff, and they just pushed. I think they just pushed Black Widow again, and like Bond got pushed back for the 12th time or something. It's yeah, they keep doing because they want to put them in cinemas,
yeah,
which
but
I
I feel like
get.
the next James Bond film is going to come out before this one.
Yeah, almost, yeah. If they do like a stream only thing and they just wait for, yeah, I don't know.
I
But
don't blame them though, but honestly, it's
yeah, just take your losses maybe and just release it. Also, like with something
I
like
don't
the
know.
MCU, it's like don't they have like a plan for the story? It's always planned out so they can't delay the movies too much because then
I
they
don't
can't
think
do some of
they,
the
yeah, I don't
series.
think they have that with James Bond. I think they just do one movie at a time and they
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
with James Bond
see
it's
what happens. Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't know. I know that Netflix would would happily release it. They release anything at the moment.
Oh yeah. Netflix they will buy and fucking anything, and then they'll do one season
Rubbish
and
kind.
decide to cancel the fucking shit,
Yeah.
and buy something new because that's how they do it apparently. All right, so that was
Rogue Squadron.
Rogue Squadron. Yeah.
One
Not too
down.
much to say about it because that's pretty much the only thing we know is like the director, her connection to it, and when it might be coming out. It still don't know. And then we have I'm excited about the untitled Taika Waititi Star Wars
Yeah, me too. He's
film.
my favorite director at the moment, I think. Like,
Mine as well, and I'm pretty sure like he's like Kat's favorite director at the moment too. It's just
he's
anything he
just
does is just so unique, and I love his
he's
humor and
fantastic.
his sensitivity. I could really see him do something awesome in Star Wars, and he even directed like an episode of The Mandalorian in the first season, and voiced IG-11, which he did perfectly as well. So he's already done stuff in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know what sort of story I would want from him. I
Oh,
don't
I
think.
know exactly what kind of story I'd
Oh,
want from him.
okay.
Just something about a kid, because
Yeah.
he does that so well. In Hunt for the Wilder People
Oh yeah.
and in Jojo Rabbit,
Oh fuck, I love that
his
movie.
his way of showing like childhood wonder and silliness, and that would just be fantastic. Just like following a kid
Yeah.
getting introduced into like the Jedi Order, or I don't
Oh,
know.
I
I
got
don't
it.
care what it is, just
I got it.
anything.
Broom Kid from The Last Jedi. No, no.
Oh,
Oh, fuck
yeah,
no.
could be. I mean, no, but yeah, somebody like that, somebody like
No,
that.
but similar. Yeah, I get it.
No, I don't know, but I think he could make a movie about a kid and the Force, um, and it would be fantastic because
Yes,
he has such a unique way of making films about children,
he
and it's
really does.
fantastic.
Does.
It's fantastic.
It's and very accessible as well.
Yeah, and
People
everybody cried. You know,
yeah,
everybody cries. I don't know.
they really do. Or Kids of the Frog Lady. Yeah, Oba Smith is saying in in the chat, like get those thing like to grow up, or maybe he's gonna like we're not gonna see Grogu again until
Oh, a
Taika does.
child movie. Yeah, okay.
Yes, the
Maybe, yeah.
child, until he does like a whole movie about that.
He'd have to learn to talk, or that would be a weird film.
Weird, but if not, then I'm sure Tiger would find some way to make it
Definitely,
work, or like have
definitely.
some sort of like fun droid sidekick that can translate
Yeah,
whatever the kid is
like one
saying.
of those.
I could just imagine like baby Grogu. Just give me a second. Baby Grogu just going and can I get you to talk? Where the fuck is the oh, this looks almost dirty. I'm lifting up his robe from
No,
behind.
just don't do it in front of the camera, mate. Just no.
Yeah.
It's weird, man.
Yeah, it's yeah, and then someone to translate that. That would be great.
Yeah, yeah. I don't care what he does. He has a carte blanche, in my opinion.
Yeah. Same. He
Honestly.
can do anything, anything. And then yeah, we don't know much other than hey, Taika's gonna direct it, and I don't need to know much more than that. I'm in, but
I might not even watch the trailer just because sometimes that's the best way to watch a film.
It is. Yeah.
Especially like, yeah. I didn't see the trailer for Hunt for the Wilder People
Nope.
and had no idea what it was going to be about. And it was just, if anybody out there has not seen that film, just watch it like tonight or tomorrow.
Do it.
But
yeah.
watch it with somebody because it's really like, it's a really hug somebody film. It's
yeah,
awesome.
you're gonna want to hug somebody after you watched it. It's
like
really...
watch it. It's honestly so good. It's so
yeah,
good.
and with the kid who was in Deadpool 2. If you liked him, he played what was his role? The kid that
fire
Deadpool,
kid.
Yeah, the fire kid that Deadpool wanted
Yeah.
to save because it was like he was gonna go off in the future and kill Cable's family and stuff like that. Yeah, that kid, New Zealand kid, as well. Like he cracks me up. He's so much fun.
He was so good. Yeah.
And he's fucking amazing in that movie. Fucking amazing. All right. Oh yeah, and Obersmith continues it with with the kids of the Frog Lady that they will have to take revenge on Grogu for eating their siblings.
That would be a weird film.
A little bit.
Yeah.
There's Grogu on the run like an army of fucking frogs.
How many are there even left? Yeah. Enough, probably.
Yeah. All right, let's jump to the next one.
It'll probably be on next season of Mandalorian, won't it?
Oh yeah, maybe. If they're gonna return.
Yeah.
But at least then Grogu will be with Luke, and he can protect.
Horrible
him.
episode of just Luke slaying these frog
Yeah,
children.
I don't want to.
Stop it!
You're making me do this. Oh damn, yeah. All right, and then we got the big one that we mentioned, Obi-Wan Kenobi series. That's of course that's not one of the ones that's gonna tie into everything going on with the Mandalorian and all the other ones. But it is definitely gonna tie into like the big Skywalker saga, or the big story, the big through line there.
Yeah.
And I don't know what do you like expect from that? Like when it comes to Obi-Wan, like do you want him to like stay on Tatooine, or wouldn't you mind him, like would you like him to maybe go and travel the galaxy a little bit and maybe go looking for Vader, or
I don't know. I think it's hard to say because I don't want them to kind of break too much away from the character that I imagine Obi-Wan to be in A New Hope, and that is kind of a secluded guy who's kept to himself.
Yeah.
I don't imagine him like as this adventurous semi-pirate with a lightsaber traveling about doing explosive things. I imagine him living there in exile because he's honestly like almost ashamed, or almost like he obviously has lots of regrets the way he talks about his relationship with Anakin and things he tells Luke. He's very somber about everything.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think that he's kind of not been redeemed yet, because his redemption comes in episode 4. So I'd feel weird about them, because that's kind of what they did wrong in the sequel trilogy, or not the Disney trilogy. I felt like they kind of took Luke's sacrifice and Darth Vader's sacrifice and kind of made that unimportant because they didn't get him. It took somebody else to do it.
The Emperor survived, and it's just like that whole fucking sacrifice. It kind of made it a little bit sour. Yeah.
But as we've talked about before, Obi-Wan does mention like having confronted Anakin
Mm-hmm. There is that line, yeah,
Exactly.
from
And
Return of
like
the Jedi, yeah, where it's like
exactly, and it
Obi-Wan
would
once
kind of
believed as you do, like as Vader says to Luke,
exactly,
when it's like if he can be saved or not, and like we haven't seen that.
exactly, but it would
Mm.
kind of have to be like he'd have to fail in some way because I feel like he hasn't had his redemption yet, and that's what his thing with Luke is about.
Yeah, yeah,
So so it's going to be, it's really really interesting, but I'm super scared that I might
yes,
be disappointed
mm,
because I love Obi-Wan so much,
mm-hmm.
and like I love the character and his whole story and stuff, and I don't want them to fuck too much with that.
No, yeah, I
Um,
totally get what you mean, because it's one thing is, yeah, people have really been wanting this for a while, so there's a lot of
yeah, yeah,
expectations that goes with it, and I'm sure many people they have something that they would like to see, and just the whole notion of should he leave Tatooine or not, like there are some strong opinions about that.
and
Um,
yeah, exactly. Of course there are because it means so much to people, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah, because it's so closely tied to the
Yeah,
original trilogy and to A New Hope. Like the first thing that we fucking got was Star Wars, and Obi-Wan being like the original mentor to Luke, who's the original hero in Star Wars. So it's just,
yeah.
if they mess that up, I don't expect for them to do so. And I'm pretty
No,
sure
no. I
that
think it
Dave
feels like
Filoni
they've
is,
learned their lesson, but
yeah, yeah, and I'm sure Dave Filoni, like he's consulting on the whole thing, and the director of the series is Deborah Chow,
and she's
who
getting all the episodes right.
she's getting all the
Like she's doing that. That comforts me
mm,
because I feel like then it seems like they're kind of building it up to be a solid story,
yeah, like
like
a
one
hour
chunk.
movie.
Exactly, a
Yeah,
chunk of
mm,
just like boom. This is because
this is
that
what you
tells me
get
that it's not going to be
all
too
over the
all over the
place.
place.
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah,
and it's
and
going to
one
be one
director wants to
person.
do, yeah.
Exactly, one director with a vision for the whole thing.
Yes, and she has proved that she can definitely handle Star Wars in the two episodes that she directed in the first season of The Mandalorian, which are some of my absolute favorites. I think it was like episode 3 and 7, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
which
3 was the
was,
one where he comes back to town, yeah,
yeah,
and
and rescue
exactly, yeah,
all the Mandalorians. They come out of hiding and help him, and this
yeah,
is the way. And yeah, that was just such a fucking amazing episode. Not that
yeah,
the first two weren't. It's just that the third one was just such a big oof. Yeah, here we
yeah. It
go.
was crazy, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and she just became like a star overnight there. So I was so happy when she got, the job that, or they told us that she was going to direct the entire Obi-Wan series. That's still freaking amazing. But something that has also, been confirmed, another name when it comes to this series is
yes,
Hayden Christensen.
yeah.
What
So
the
we
F?
know it's gonna
We
be,
got freaking Anakin again right there.
yeah,
Like it's how is he gonna be in this, like, is he like, because how they worded it was Hayden Christensen is gonna play Vader, Darth Vader, which, yes, of course it makes sense because that's who Anakin is at that point in the story. Like
yeah.
he's been consumed by Darth Vader, but is he just then there to just be in the suit, or is he going to take the mask off and then we're just going to get Hayden with a lot of prosthetics, or are they going to show us flashbacks from something like the Clone Wars with him and Ewan, and we're going to get to see Obi-Wan and Anakin in their prime again during the Clone Wars between
Well, that
episodes 2 and 3, but then they would have to like really do some impressive makeup to de-age them a little bit, maybe.
yes,
um
they would have to use something other than the de-aging technology that they have
that
because it
doesn't
doesn't
that doesn't
work.
fucking work. No.
No, it doesn't work. I'm really
I
sorry.
love
It just
I love Luke in, like, I love, and all you people out there who've seen my reaction,
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
I freaked the fuck out, and it didn't really matter to me that it was kind of uncanny valley, but no, that did not look good. Like, when people
No, it just
do a
didn't.
better
Yeah,
job, like one guy on the internet can do a better job with the fucking what's it called, that face, like
deep fake.
fake, yeah, yeah, when they like
Yeah,
one person can do a better job.
Yeah, like 30 minutes after the episode airs, it's like, Star Wars subreddit, somebody posted a video where it's just infinitely better, and he did it on his phone or some shit. I don't understand why they insist on it, because it just looks a bit weird. It looks a bit off.
Yeah.
But it was an awesome surprise that we got him back, and I love the fact that it was actually like they were actually able to have Mark Hamill do the character and shit. That was fantastic.
Yeah,
I
I
wish
don't know.
they would just stop being stubborn about the whole de-aging technology, because it doesn't work as well as deepfake.
No, I don't like. Did they invest a lot of money into it? They probably did, and now
They probably did,
like,
yeah,
they feel like they have to use it or something. I don't know.
It's like
just not
Microsoft
working.
and Bing. It's just, are you
Oh.
sure you don't want to use Bing? No,
I am.
no.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
It's just it doesn't really work, and just something with like The Irishman.
Yeah. Yeah, that looked a bit weird as well. I loved the film, but it looked so weird.
It did look weird.
Like the younger he was, the weirder it was. It was like,
really was. And then once again,
this is Mafia 3.
Yeah. And then once again, you have people on the internet doing a better fucking job of it.
Yeah.
And
Actually
like
within
doing the
hours.
deepfakes.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling to say the least. But we'll see, because it's definitely possible that they will do some sort of a flashback, and we also
hadn't
have someone
thought about, honestly,
in the chat here, Hustle Mandalorian, saying, yeah, I think he'll be in some flashbacks, and yeah, so
that does make sense, because like I was thinking, like, what do they mean he's going to be back? Is he voice acting? Is it just a voice acting job?
Because that's James Earl Jones.
That would be yeah. Is he back as well, James Earl Jones? Or
I actually would. I know this might be controversial, but I don't want him to voice a young Vader, because when he voiced him in Rogue One, you could really hear like that he has gotten old. Like, it's definitely not the same Vader voice that's in A New Hope.
No.
So, and then it's supposed to happen like way before A New Hope, so he needs to sound young again. So we need someone who's really good at impersonating to do it. I know there are a bunch out there, and the guy who did it for or who's done it for some of the games, I think like some of them have been good, others but we need to find the right one. It would just seem weird if, like, because he sounds really old now. Like, I don't want to take anything away from like the legend that is Earl Jones, but it was just like, just story-wise, be a little bit off, that he's sounding so old. When
he's so old.
He's so old. It sounds so mean.
She's old. No, poor guy. But yeah, I kind of agree. But it is interesting. Like, yeah,
it really is.
Because it would be weird if it was just Hayden Christensen's back, and then you get to see him for like 20 seconds with loads of shit on his face.
Yeah.
No.
They kind of
again, Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah. I like that he's getting another crack at it, though, because it's not like
me too.
He's not a bad actor or anything. He's not the world's best, but it's like he's gotten an unfair amount of hate, I would say.
And he deals with it so movies. Like, he's so nice to fans and stuff. People
really
regularly post pictures where he's like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And it's like,
he's so down to earth.
He was just an actor. Like, what are people so mad at him about? What was he going to do? Say no?
No, I don't want to play the like.
No, I think people might hate me for it. You know, fuck that shit. You're going to be in Star Wars if they ask you.
It's not his fault that George is not, an actor's director. Like, he was never able to give the actors directions. Like, he was just like faster, more intense. That was always like his only thing he would say, and then just say what's on the page. And then there's like this famous line from Harrison Ford where he's like, "You can write this shit, George, but you can't say it." Like, it's just, some of it is just weird and clunky, and that's when we get like some of the not so nuanced, dialogue and stuff, like from the prequels and this stuff where you can maybe go into it and be like, yeah, well, that could have been better. The story is there and the setting and everything, but some of the directions and when it comes to the acting is just rather stiff here and there. But that was never his focus. Like George doesn't fucking care about that at all. If
No,
like,
no.
his
He made fun films for kids,
yes,
and they were really, really fun when we were kids.
but he's
Can you?
also weird and very artsy fartsy sometimes.
Yeah, he
Oh,
has lots of like weird things. Can you give me like 2 minutes, and then I'll just move my setup into the
oh
other
yeah,
room.
definitely. I can just kick you out for a moment, and then I'll
Yep.
just what do you say? 2 minutes?
Yeah, it'll be
Or you
like
can just shoot
literally
me a
2 minutes.
text, and then I'll I'll bring you back in.
Definitely.
Okay,
Right.
perfect. Just a sec. I'll put you in the waiting room. There we go. All right. Now you guys are just stuck with me again, but that is a good time for me to check the chat and see how things are going. And yeah, well, we still have some people watching. I know that we're just talking a lot, and it's just Star Wars and our opinions about it. But you are still more than welcome to just chime in whenever you would like to, both in the chat and of course, as I said up top, that and during the thing, that if you want to support the channel, then there's the Streamlabs link right up there where you can send in a question or a comment or something, and it will also pop up on the screen now, because I found out how that works. And yeah, it all helps out a lot. And if not, then please like and subscribe, comment, and go look at the links down in the description as well, with Patreon and Twitter and Twitch, all that good stuff, Instagram. And I could ask you guys, like, what so far, like from what, like, I know we haven't gone through the entire list of things that's coming, because we keep going out on like tangents and stuff. But like, what sort of Star Wars projects are you looking forward to the most, of all the ones that we've gotten announced so far? Or are you looking more forward to some of the games, like some new Star Wars games? Are you more into the books, the comics? Just yeah, tell me about it. I would love to. I would love to hear. Oh, and we have witty young daughter saying, or asking, how do you think they're going to use Grogu in the future? That is a really good question. I know we were joking a little bit about it. Me and Zach, with like, if they were gonna, if Taika was gonna use him in his movie, and they're gonna make a whole movie about him. But I'm sure he's gonna return at some point. There is this little thing where, uh, well, we know from the sequel trilogy that Kylo, or yeah, Ben, or whatever, the Jedi Temple, that when Luke, he was training the new generation of Jedi, they all fucking died. And oh, Zach is ready already. Or many of them died, and those who didn't want to follow Kylo, like, he just fucking slaughtered them. So I really hope Grogu is not among those. Okay, let me just get Zach back in here, and hey, go.
I did it again. I was watching your stream, and then
Oh,
you came back to me.
yeah.
All
30
right,
second delay. 30-second delay.
fantastic.
Yeah, I actually just got a question, or I was in the middle of like talking about how are they going to use Grogu in the future, and then I kind of talked about, because like we know that, like, the whole Jedi Temple, after when Ben kind of goes berserk and becomes Kylo, and all that we saw in The Last Jedi, like the Jedi who didn't, like, the students who didn't want to follow Kylo, like, he just slaughtered them.
Yeah. We know naturally Grogu gets murdered by Kylo. No,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
doubt that's gonna happen though.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Like, oh, come on. I am pretty sure that, yes, Luke is going to train him. He's gonna teach him about the Force, but he's maybe not necessarily gonna stay with him. I really hope,
and are
like,
we going to see that part?
yeah, but maybe that's how the whole Mandalorian story is going to wrap up. Is
Yeah.
finally when the Mandalorian has been, spending time and like liberating Mandalore, and we've gotten through all of that with Bo-Katan, and maybe been helping Ahsoka out as well with Thrawn or like whatever the fuck. And then he can finally return, pick up the kid, and then they can just go out and in the unknown regions together on the Outer Rim and live as father and son again. 'Cause that would be like the nice ending to the whole
It would definitely, yeah.
venture. And then it's just gonna be, Mando and Grogu, and they're just gonna do their thing just by themselves. If anyone comes near them, then they're gonna get fucked up because it's a Mandalorian and a now trained Jedi. Hopefully a little bit, older at that point, but maybe not Yoda level, but
Yeah,
still.
but like how much does he age? Because he's already quite old, isn't he? He's like a toddler.
He's 50.
Yeah, and he's like a toddler.
Yeah, it's
At some point he's gonna have to hit like puberty.
Oh yeah, we might get into like a teenage Groot situation there or something where and that's gonna be like the last season. It's just him picking him up again, and he's just turned into this awful teenager instead. He's not cute at all anymore.
No, just like ugly little kid.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I think I saw some more. Bum. Oh yeah, there's some more people writing here. Some people are. Oh wait, nope. There's another one here first from Hustle Mandalorian. Have you read any of the High Republic books yet? I've read Light of the Jedi so far, and I liked it. Awesome, good to hear that. Are you familiar with that, the High Republic, Zach?
I've read about it. I've read that that's the next chapter, and it takes place like 100 years before.
I think it's 200.
200 years before. Okay.
Yeah.
But so basically, the only character who would be there would be somebody like Yoda, basically, right?
Yeah. I'm sure
because it's even before Sheev gets born and stuff.
Yeah. It's I don't know. Yeah, maybe even before Plagueis. And I have a feeling they might tie in some of like the older legend stuff, like the stuff that is now Legends, that was like the Old Republic, maybe even some Darth Bane stuff. I know you've read.
I listened to them. I listened to the audiobooks. Yeah, they were fantastic.
Exactly. Yeah, like
really good.
One, like that's a wet dream of mine if they ever decided to look into some of those legend books and be like, well, we could just adapt these. We don't have to come up with a lot of new stuff. Like we can just adapt some of this and then maybe just make it a little bit different. If they did that with the Bane books, like as a mini series or like limited series something, and got like
just put a red lightsaber in the hand of Tom Hardy and just
exactly,
because I know he's played Bane before, but he has to play Darth Bane as well. He would be
him, or just like someone who definitely has like the acting chops, but also is kind of bulky and could be like that big.
Just a brute, just this nasty.
Exactly.
Man, it was such a good like the first books, especially was just
the first
so
book was
good.
Just top tier Star Wars entertainment.
Yeah.
But no, I just to answer that question, no, I haven't read the Light of the Jedi. I haven't even gotten it yet, but I am thinking about getting into those because I fell behind on some of the new canon books because some of them I really liked and others I read them and then I kind of just forgot about them a little bit because they were good and entertaining, but it didn't really stick. It was just I read the Aftermath trilogy, which is that's a trilogy of books that explains what happens like right after Return of the Jedi with some new characters, and then they also sprinkle in like Han and Leia and even some stuff with Luke, and we get like the Battle of Jakku, which is that's why there are all these like remnants from that battle on Jakku, like we see with the big Star Destroyers that Rey is like she's scavenging and all that. Like those were pretty good. I read the first Thrawn novel. I read another really good one is Lords of the Sith, which is like basically just this story about Vader and Palpatine, and then two of Palpatine's bodyguards who are stranded on a planet, and they just have to fight their way out. Like it sounds simple, but it's a really good story because it's
Nice.
very early on in Vader's days, and the Emperor is just such a fucking asshole to him. And then we also got some other stuff and some other characters. And that was a really good one. But then I kind of fell behind on them. So I would like to dive into the High Republic because it just started, and then you can like be there from the beginning. I know there's this one novel that is called Light of the Jedi, and then there's also a young adults novel for like younger kids, and they're gonna do some comics as well. And then we're getting one series that's going on in that time frame, and that is Acolyte.
Okay, so that's a series because
Yes. Let's
okay.
just jump to that maybe. Just
Nice.
skip all the other ones here. Come on. Well,
because that's one of the ones I'm most interested in. Like,
yes, same
just
here.
solely because of the perspective. Like it's
Yeah, and it's saying here like the description on the website at least is saying Leslie Headland, Emmy Award nominated creator of the mind-bending series Russian Doll, brings a new Star Wars series to Disney Plus with The Acolyte. It's a mystery thriller that will take the audience into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. Might get Plagueis or something there, or even Bane. Like I don't know if they want to redo that whole thing, like when the Rule of Two started, because that still needs to be Bane. That is actually canon. Because and I'm sorry if I'm spoiling this for you again, but in Clone Wars Season 6, Yoda actually goes to the Sith homeworld of Moriband, or it got
I remember
renamed
that from
Moriband.
the books. Yeah.
Yeah, it got renamed Moriband. It was called Korriban.
Yeah, Korriban. Yeah.
Yeah, but for some reason, nobody knows why, but George he renamed it. He didn't like Korriban. He renamed it Moriband. No idea why.
Korriban is just such a better name.
Better,
though.
yeah.
It sounds
sounds way better. Just
How
like
do we make
naming
it
a
sound
planet
more moronic?
Mustafar, right? It's
Yeah.
weird. But either way, like Yoda goes there and he actually has a conversation with Bane, like the essence of like the dark side remnant there. That's like Bane, because the dark side is so strong on that planet. So
Crazy.
like it's like even in the dark side, like they have that like their own like version of a Force ghost in a way.
Yeah.
And Bane is voiced by Mark Hamill in that story.
Ooh, cool.
It's really interesting.
Is Korriban the planet where like I'm afraid to spoil something from the books. Like, but is that the like completely dead planet?
Yeah.
The one where everything is just there's nothing. You can just feel nothingness.
It's like it's
or is
really
that another place?
Strong in the dark side, but it is like the original Sith planet, even though they kind of came up with like a new original Sith planet in the Rise of Skywalker, the Exegol, whatever the fuck. Where it's just use
the planet of infinite minerals.
Yes. Yeah, and apparently people can survive beneath ice in Stardust. Yes. Never mind, that was bullshit. But no, yeah, Moriband. It's or Korriban. The Sith home planet, and even like in a game like the Old Republic, there's like an actual race called Sith who are like these red-skinned humanoids that are very strong in the dark side. But yeah, either way, it would be interesting to see like how they would bring in something like the Rule of Two or Darth Bane or anything.
Yeah, also because the Rule of Two is kind of one of those things in Star Wars where it's like it's one of those interesting concepts where you're not always quite sure like what are the benefits. Like it would be interesting to explore it some more because
explain it.
Because it's such a weird rule, isn't it?
Go into detail, and I think they did such a good job of that in the Darth Bane novel.
Yeah, exactly.
They once again adapted some of that. I wouldn't be mad about it at all. But that's so that's the Acolyte at least, and I'm looking very much forward to that. There's like no date or anything, but as far as I know, like a lot of the story stuff that's gonna come, like from like the books and the comics and the stuff that they're doing with the High Republic now is like gonna culminate in that series. So like if you follow along with those books and those stories, then that series might like you might be rewarded in that series.
We might have to have a weekly meeting instead of a
Yes.
bi-weekly.
Exactly. It's so much stuff is coming. Yeah. It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan.
Yes.
All right. Then we have witty young daughter asking or saying some people are saying that one of the things Luke may have been up to when he went away was hiding and training Grogu even more. That could be a possibility. Yeah, definitely, because there are like long periods of time there in canon so far where Luke is just, out doing something. Like no one really knows where he is. And he's just going around and looking for relics and exploring the Force, the galaxy. So maybe, yeah, he took Grogu with him. That could be interesting to explore some of that. And then I see, damn, she's probably gone now. But my mom said that she had to go, but good night and see you tomorrow. And yeah, I'm going to see her real quick tomorrow. I'm going to go for a little walk together because we haven't seen each other in a while, and we're gonna social distance and all that, of course, but still, just to getting that human interaction. Like even though like we're talking and having fun now, it's not the same as if we were in the fucking room together. So I hope that I can invite you back at some point, and then we can do it like actually sit next to each other and do this shit.
Definitely, we'd have the exact same volume level. That would be fantastic.
Yes, then that fixes that problem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, did you ever come up or think of a funny, not too embarrassing story that Hubel asked about like an hour ago now? I know that we are more than an hour ago. We've been going on for a while. Like this is gonna be a long stream, but I hope you guys don't mind. And we can speed through some of the last stuff here. It's we've talked about.
I don't know, but the first time we got drunk together.
Oh yeah. And... You can definitely tell that story.
Okay. Well, I don't know how we decided, but we weren't very old. But we just decided that we were going to get drunk together, and you had like your dad's place to yourself because he was working or something.
Yeah.
Like, was that when he was working like on the other side of the country or something?
I think so. Yeah, that's when he was in Jutland. Yeah, and working.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. So we went into his bar cabinet, and what was it? We found a vodka.
There's vodka and gin and all sorts.
Yeah, vodka,
we didn't even
gin, all kinds of stuff.
know the difference back then. We were like 13 or 14. It was
like too young basically, but who cares? We didn't think so at the time, and we got really shit faced, and I felt so bad the next day, and we just filled the bottles back up with water.
That was
like, if anybody out there is at the age where you're about to start drinking or something, I'm not going to tell you to start drinking, but don't assume that you can just pour water into a bottle and it will magically be, it won't solve the problem. You might as well just leave it and then just explain what happened, because they will find out, and it's way worse to just.
And now you ruined the rest of the fucking vodka.
Exactly, you've ruined all the vodka is gone now instead of just half of it. So just cop up, or just put some money next to it and just be like, sorry, we did this.
Yeah. Just come clean. That's what that would be my advice as well, because I remember waking.
That's what we learned.
Yeah, I woke up, felt very bad about it, and the first thing I saw on the table in front of me, on my bedside table, was the bottles again, and I was like, no, put those away. Why are they here again all of a sudden? And then it just dawned on me that it's because, oh fuck, he knows. And then I just stayed in bed till way past when I should have gotten up. Like it was way past midday, and I didn't want to leave the bed because the longer I postponed it, the whole thing about talking to my dad about this, then
and you knew he knew, so he was just sitting there waiting, like
exactly.
He has a card to play.
Yep. He wasn't too happy about that. So yeah, once again, kids out there, if and when you want to start drinking and you think it might be a good idea to raid your parents' liquor cabinet, and if you do end up doing that, don't fill the bottles up with water. Just come clean about it, because they're always going to find out. And at least then, if you didn't fill them up with water, you didn't ruin the rest of the alcohol that you didn't drink.
Yes.
So yeah, that was a little stroll down memory lane there. Oh, some reason there was a comment that got flagged, but anywho, all right. Then I saw another question here. What do you guys say to the idea of those who think Mando might slightly be force sensitive because of his connection with Grogu? Well, like
I didn't get that impression myself.
No, like technically, all beings are slightly force. Like everybody has, if you go like with the canon and everything, like everybody has, the capacity at least, or midichlorians, and then it's just the amount of midichlorians you have will like allow you to access the force. But the force flows through all living beings, as Yoda said. But no, I didn't get the impression either that he would be force sensitive in that way at all. Like I didn't see any clues, and I don't think it's something you can catch by spending a lot of time with someone who is very force sensitive. Like that's not how the force works, as Han said. But who knows? Like there are like many possibilities there.
Yeah.
Could be. And then someone saying, yeah, he's too old to begin training though. Yeah, too old.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Too old. Yeah. Yoda wouldn't like that.
But Yoda does bend every time he is confronted with a kid who is too old. He's like, okay then.
Okay,
like,
okay, Anakin. Okay, Luke. Like it's just
don't worry.
Just the Skywalkers. What's gonna happen? What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to be like, but Obi-Wan sent me. Oh, you didn't tell me. Just go.
Yeah.
Come on
in. Obi-Wan. Oh, that old maniac.
Yeah,
come on in. Have some fucking soup. Yeah.
I'll train you to become a deadly warrior.
Exactly. Good food, yes. Yeah. All right. Let's just quickly go through the rest of these, because we have Ahsoka. That's that's obvious. It's gonna be about Ahsoka. We got her introduction in Mandalorian season 2, and really enjoyed. Oh, is someone in the chat?
Yeah. What do you think about Bo-Katan and Din Djarin marrying each other and sharing the saber instead of killing each other?
Oh.
It would make for the weirdest opening episode.
Yeah, just open the thing on a wedding. Huh.
What if we share the sword?
We'll see how they left it off like a bit of an open-ended kind of okay, this is gonna be an issue, but right now we have bigger problems to deal with, so let's just postpone this fucking thing. Yeah.
It'll be
I wouldn't mind it also because there are, in canon, there are examples of the sword just being handed to someone. Even Bo-Katan has been handed the sword before by someone else. She didn't defeat that person in combat, so it's just like, why is that necessary now? Like, I kind of need them to explain that a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it would be, because it's like, the story is important. But isn't it like a way worse story that this guy saved her and helped her and everything, and then he presented her with the saber and was like, I got this for you. And then she's like, no, I have to murder you.
Yeah.
And then everybody would be like, oh, that's my queen. That doesn't make any sense to me, that people would rather have that story.
Plus, who's there to, tell the story? Like, who's going to go against them? Gideon? Like, fuck that. They're like, they have him as a
You have a saber now.
Yeah.
Chop his head off. Problem solved.
Screw that guy. Even though, I'm glad they kept him alive though, because Giancarlo Esposito is just in anything he does. I
Yeah.
cannot wait for the last season of Better Call Saul. That's a whole different discussion.
No,
but
me neither. Me neither. Yeah,
fuck,
we can do that another day.
Yeah. Do a whole Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul thing. That's like we can spend hours talking about that as well. That's for sure. Um, oh, and you don't have to be sorry about it, AF. It's a good suggestion. You never know. With like what's gonna happen with Bo-Katan and how it's all gonna turn out. They might end up together and they will rule Mandalore together. Din Djarin and Bo-Katan. I could see that happening. It's not a bad theory at all. And yes, as you're saying, that is the situation I was referring to. That was Sabine giving the saber to Bo-Katan. Sabine, that's
It
a
would certainly
character.
be nicer than her murdering him.
Yes,
Like,
yes, exactly. But yeah, anywho, yeah, the Ahsoka series. That's probably gonna be about Ahsoka looking for Thrawn still, and then also looking for another person who kind of disappeared together with Thrawn during Star Wars Rebels. This guy called Ezra, who's a Jedi actually. And it would be interesting to see if they bring him back in. Yeah, but I just love the fact that we are getting a series about Ahsoka, because I really grew to love her character a lot from the animated series.
yeah, she's obviously like a fan favorite. So
Really is, yeah. And she was
So,
fucking awesome in Mandalorian. Just the way
yeah.
they played her, and with the two white blades. Like, come on,
Yeah,
white
it looks
blades.
so good.
That's
Yeah, it
just
looks
so
sweet.
badass. I know people like to call her a gray Jedi, even though that's not a term in Star Wars canon at all. Like, it's not a real. It's fan made term, gray Jedi. It's something that George certainly does not believe in. Like, to him, like there's the light side. You can't be a gray Jedi. You can be a Jedi or a Sith. You can definitely be a Force user and not be affiliated with the Jedi or the Sith, but like gray Jedi is not really
Okay, I
a
thought
thing.
I read stuff like Dark Jedis and stuff.
Yeah, there's that as well, like Dark Jedi. That term has definitely been used before, but that's more used about a Jedi that has fallen to the dark side, but isn't technically a member of like the Sith, like isn't a Sith, because always two there are. Like there can't be that many more. You can't be too many Siths, too many Sith. There's no S at the end. Siths. And then sometimes like in during the Clone Wars we saw that there were like rival Sith with Maul and his apprentice Savage Opress. Like he called himself a Sith and like a Sith Lord. Like we are what the Sith should be. But then at the same time, of course, we had Sidious and Dooku, who were also Sith. So, and then they kind of clashed at one point. That was a fucking amazing storyline as well. Oh yeah, there's so much. Fucking hell. Nice, yeah. And then together with the whole Ahsoka thing, we have the one called Rangers of the New Republic, and
is that an animated show?
No, that's another live action show that's gonna tie into the whole Ahsoka Mandalorian timeline. And I think, Rangers of the New Republic, maybe we're going to follow Cara Dune and her character more in that, because she got approached by a Ranger of the New Republic or a Marshal of the New Republic or something in The Mandalorian with, one of those X-Wing pilots who walked up to her and talked to her. And like we saw him and, the other X-Wing pilot being played by Dave Filoni in that one episode where they, on the ice planet with the spiders and all that. So yeah, I'm thinking that's, going to give us a better understanding of what the Republic looks like at this point, the New Republic.
Yeah, because they don't touch a lot about that. You just see the planets being exploded, basically.
Yeah, that's all we fucking get in the sequel trilogy. There's this whole new republic with defeated the Empire and this new seat of government and everything, and it all got blown up and we're back to the Empire versus the rebels. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, just nostalgia. There we go. So that's I'm sure that's going to be a lot of fun, and that's the one where they say it's set within the timeline of The Mandalorian. This new live action series from executive producers Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni will intersect with future stories and culminate into a climactic story event. So that is really exciting. I like the sound of that, like a climactic story event.
Yeah, definitely. Like it tells you that there's some kind of plan with everything, which is nice. Like, it's not just going to be weird stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I see someone, Kurt Hopman, saying maybe culturally speaking, Mandalorians respect legend and reputation above all else. So a firmer claim to the throne is desirable to avoid usurpers. Oh yeah, in defense of you have to fucking
Yeah.
kill
The law
whoever.
is the law as well and stuff.
Yeah. Like it's a thing for.
It's just from a personal standpoint, I would not vote
No,
for
no.
for the guy who murdered the opposition.
It seems avoidable. Yeah, it seems like that's there would be a better solution. But yeah, it's everything is possible, definitely. And then sorry, I'm just we're nearing the end here because we've been going on for about 2 hours. So I'm just quickly gonna go through the last ones here. Lando, don't know how I feel about that. What is that gonna be about? Are we gonna get Childish Gambino? I was about to say Donald Glover playing him again, or are they gonna go with Billy D. Williams, or like doing a back and forth
he's definitely
thing?
too old to be. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Lando is a really good character because he's. I don't know. I don't know if he needs exploring that much more. Like,
no, but it would
because
give
he's awesome in the film and like he works well.
Yeah, and I'm like if they were to continue anything from like the Solo movie, then to me it would be more interesting looking into the Crimson Dawn, that whole crime syndicate that Paul Bettany's character was in charge of, and then we found out that no, it was actually Maul who was in charge of that whole thing, and then Kira, Emilia Clarke's character.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind her reprising that role because I thought she was pretty good in it, and I haven't seen her be really captivating on screen besides that and Game of Thrones.
No, I think she falls a bit flat sometimes.
In some of it, at least, like Terminator, for example, was yawn.
But that was just.
It was also because it was a shit movie.
Yeah.
That too, yeah. And then we have Andor, which is that we know more about that. Cassian Andor, about the,
Yeah, I remember the characters because I really like Rogue One. I think it's honestly it's probably the best Star Wars film that's come out since.
Oh yeah. No doubt about it. Like since like at least
any
in
of the new ones,
of the
exactly.
new ones.
I think it's a really solid Star Wars film. It's fantastic.
Really is.
And it did it even without Jedi's, and like I thought it was so good.
Yeah.
But like his character wasn't the most interesting thing about the film.
No, so yeah, I hope
and
they use
it's the whole thing that we know that he doesn't. It's the whole thing of taking a character where I know he's going to be alive, like doing anything prequel. It kind of takes away some of the. Like, what are we really that interested in knowing? Like, how did he get to that point? Because we know he can't die. So it's like it's just a story about this character, and I have no idea what to expect.
I hope they're gonna,
because the film was really good.
Yeah, it really was, and I did like him in it and everything. But I hope they're gonna use it more as a means to explore the inner workings of the Rebel Alliance when they were forming, and the different factions coming together. We know that the actress who played Mon Mothma in Rogue One, she's gonna reprise that role in Cassian Andor. We might even get, like we know, Forrest Whitaker. He actually really enjoys playing Saw Gerrera. because he's voiced him in both like Rebels and video games and stuff like that. And he wouldn't mind. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind reprising that role. So maybe we'll see Saw Gerrera before he kind of fucking lost his mind and went all Acolyte, that fucking thing.
That was funny though.
Yeah. And maybe even like dive into like see the other side of it. Let's get to know some Imperials. Let's see like how is it on the other side. Let's get to know some of these people. Not that I wanna, because I know Star Wars is not supposed to be like in the gray that much. You're not really supposed to
but
root
the
for
bad
the
characters, the evil guys are still some of the best characters at all. I mean,
yes. So just give us some fucking
Tarkin
mean Imperials.
And
And let's get an insight into that as well, and follow some of those people, and maybe some defectors from the Empire, because that always happens.
Yeah.
Who knows? That could be fun. And I do know though that because they've said that Stellan Skarsgård is going to be in it, so there's another
nice
Scandinavian actor. And then we also have Alan Tudyk reprising his role as K2SO.
Ooh, nice.
But they just said that he's not going to be in the first season, though.
Oh.
Because and that's fine by me, because it's actually already been told, the story about how Cassian and K2, how they meet each other. It's like explained in a comic, and it happens like fairly close to Rogue One.
Ah, okay.
So they can't like meet up before that really, and I don't want them to like retcon their own canon now already.
No.
So just bring him in a little bit earlier, maybe in season 2 or something.
Definitely. I just bit my cheek horribly.
Oh, fuck it. I know the feeling. But yeah, that was Andor, and then we already talked about the Acolyte. Then we got the Bad Batch. That's an animated series, and that's going to be a continuation of a storyline, like a 4-episode story arc that we got in season 7 of the Clone Wars, where there are these clones that are different from all the others. Like something went wrong, or like they did something extra, and they look different, they sound different, and they all have these like special abilities in some way. So they are these like this elite group of clone troopers. And then we're gonna see, them on the other side of Order 66. So I'm actually quite intrigued by that, because I've always been like very interested in seeing so how like during Order 66, like what really went on
about all the good guys. Yeah, exactly.
All the good guys and the clones, and like did they all have that inhibitor chip that made them just snap and just start killing Jedi? Because there are some storylines where like from Clone Wars where like some of them like they find out about it, there might be something there with like a chip, and then that's also a part of that Bad Batch storyline. So maybe they are going to be aware about it or aware of it. And they've teased someone like Fennec Shan, the Ming-Na Wen's character from The Mandalorian, the one that shows up with Boba Fett.
Yeah.
She's going to be in that, just younger as well. Ooh. I really like her character. So, yeah, it's in this same art style as the Clone Wars and everything. So just continuing in that vein. I like that. So, and they're pretty far with that already. It's gonna come out pretty soon.
Is that coming out this year?
Yeah, it's okay. The first one we're gonna see of the bunch there. Yeah. And we have a few others. Something like Visions, which is
that's the anime one,
yeah. Yeah. That's gonna be really interesting.
Really interesting. I mean, honestly, I would love to just see like lightsaber battles, but just 20-minute long episodes of just awesome battles, and see what they can do with all kinds of, because like the Matrix, what was it called?
Animatrix?
Animatrix, yeah, that was awesome.
I almost said Animaniacs.
It was really cool. Yeah. No.
No. Not that.
No. But yeah, that was really cool. So I'm actually quite looking forward to that. And
same.
It might be terrible. Some anime stuff is. I'm not too into the whole scene, but
exactly. But it's 10 different visions from several leading Japanese anime
Exactly, like
studios.
the
So
top studios. I think it's going to be great.
fucking yeah. You think we're gonna get one from Studio Ghibli, or is that too big? That might be too big. I don't know.
I have no
but
idea, mate. I don't know. Are they the ones who did? Did they do like all the movies and stuff?
some of the like the really My
Yeah.
Neighbor Totoro and
Yeah. Chihiro.
Howl's Flying Castle.
Yeah.
Fuck.
The one with the witch.
Spirited Away. Yeah, Spirited
Yes,
Away.
Spirited
That's
Away.
it.
Yeah. The Danish, but the Danish title is something like Chihiro and the Witch or something, isn't it?
Shikio or Hickson or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Wah.
yeah. Love the like amazing like the animation style and everything like, but that might be too big, too expensive, or he might not want to do it. I don't know.
It would
But
be
either way,
fantastic, but
it's gonna be interesting to see that, and I love
definitely
to see like different iterations of Star Wars, really. And then, as you said, like a long ass lightsaber battle in anime style, because
it would
we
just
get
be
that
awesome, wouldn't it?
fucking long battle sometimes. Like I'm watching Naruto at the moment, and sometimes battles will last fucking 10 episodes or something. It's fucking crazy.
I remember that from watching Dragon Ball and stuff as well.
Oh, yeah, Dragon Ball is even worse at that shit, I think.
Yeah, they spent a bit too much time on it, but it was still fun.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and sorry, AF, we actually already talked about Acolytes a little bit earlier, because we already started talking about the High Republic, but we are looking forward to it a lot. And yeah,
and it's got a female lead, doesn't it? They confirmed that, didn't they? That it was going to be female.
Acolyte?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I think I remember reading it, but Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But that's interesting as well.
It's definitely
to see like an evil Sith woman, because it's all been
it's all been
in
guys.
the movies and in the live action. It's been guys, yeah.
Exactly. I would love to see, once again, going back to the Bane novels, his apprentice in those novels, that was a woman, and she was fucking badass as well. I don't remember her name for some odd reason, but
I can't remember either.
Pretty cool. And then we have the last one, which is this might just be more for the kids. It's called A Droid Story, where it is intersection of animation and visual of blah blah. Sorry, just trying to get to the meat here. Epic journey will introduce us new hero guided by legendary duo R2D2 and C3PO. So I think that's
nice. But that's animated as well, yeah?
Kid friendly. Yeah, it is. It is being developed by Lucasfilm visual effects team Industrial Light and Magic, which are, the best in the world at that stuff. So
nice.
Maybe except for Weta Studios, the ones that Peter Jackson used for Lord of the Rings. I think they're awesome as well. But yeah, you can't beat Industrial Light and Magic. They're just, number one when it comes to all of that.
Yeah.
Whew, oh yeah. Holy shit! I think we went through.
What about the House of Boba Fett or the?
Oh yeah, that's of course that's because it's not on the list here, because it hadn't been announced at that point.
Oh, exactly.
But that's the one that's the first live action one that we're gonna be getting, or the first one of the new series. And we're even gonna get that before Mandalorian season 3, I believe.
It's coming. Ooh, nice.
Because at first they said that Mandalorian season 3 was going to come out in at the end of this year.
Yeah.
And then they did that, ending the last episode of season 2 with teasing the Book of Boba Fett and saying it's going to come out at the end of this year. And then many people thought, oh, so is that Mandalorian season 3? We're just going to shift focus from Din to Boba. But apparently, no, it is its own thing.
Okay.
The Book of Boba Fett, and then
that was the impression I got as well. That it would be another entirely new series.
Yeah. And I definitely don't mind that. Like me growing up, or us, growing up, and it's just Boba was always, one of my favorites at least, and I always wanted that live action Boba, anything really, just any story.
Yeah, and the Boba Fett game. Do you remember the Bounty Hunter game?
Yeah, that was Django, but yeah.
Yeah, but still, it was kind of the same
exactly.
He
It
wanted
was,
to
yeah,
be that kind of character.
exactly. It is technically almost, clone. um,
True.
but I loved him in season 2, and Tamora Morrison playing him. I loved that he got the opportunity to play the son of the character that he played in Attack of the Clones, and it's not that
Yeah.
it sense that it's him again, because once again, it's a fucking clone.
Yeah, and it was nice with the whole thing that they recognized his voice and stuff. That was quite funny.
Yeah.
They thought he was a stormtrooper, and it's like that must be so hard to explain that you're not a clone. Like,
Yeah. There's like
technically you are, but I'm not
exactly,
that
but
kind of
they
clone.
might see me, and like they might recognize me. Like let's
Yeah.
just leave it at that with the Empire. It's like, oh yeah, well, exactly. There's like at one point you were all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, I'm just so happy that they brought him back. I didn't even know that I wanted it like this, and I also like his new look. Like he looks even more badass than ever, in the black now, with the armor, and it got a little touch up. I
Yeah.
just looking so much forward to that, and I'm sure like it's gonna dive into the criminal underworld. Like now that he just took over Jabba's palace, and he's sitting on the fucking throne in the end, just shooting Bib
Yeah.
Fortuna. Like
I
get
hope
off.
it'll be like Sopranos, but on Tatooine. That would be awesome.
Let's do a gangster series in a galaxy far, far away. Please. I would fucking love that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Um,
People says we need to play Tsushima Legends together.
oh, we really
I
do.
agree.
We have been talking about that, and I've actually also thought about bringing you in, Hubel, because I know that you can show us the ropes a little bit, and just because I know you've been doing a lot of raids. And then yeah, trip out every time. That Ming Na Wen is 57 years old, and she's still just kicking ass in those
Damn.
roles. It's really, yeah. She doesn't look it, right, at all.
At all. Like she's been in loads of stuff, hasn't she?
She's Agents of Shield. If you ever saw that, she plays Agent Melinda May, aka the Cavalry in Agents of Shield. I actually I really enjoyed that series. I thought it was pretty good. Most of it, at least.
Oh, she was in Street Fighter as well.
She's been in so much stuff. Like I'm sure,
In
like when you go
'94.
back,
Jesus Christ.
and she voiced Mulan. I'm pretty
Yep,
sure.
she voiced Mulan, and she was in Final Fantasy. Do you remember that?
What?
The
No.
Final Fantasy film. Like
was that the animated one that?
It was
sort
so
of
weird,
realistic
and yeah, it looked like semi-realistic, like really good for its time.
It actually was. It was impressive for its time. It really
I
was.
remember I watched it so many times, but I have no idea what the film is about.
Me neither. I was convincing myself that I liked it because it was, sci-fi.
Also, we were like 11 years old when it came out.
Didn't really get it back then. I might have to rewatch it then.
No idea what that film's about.
Nah.
But I know I've seen it at least 5 times when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But,
it's yeah, she's fucking awesome. I enjoy her, and I'm happy that she's gonna be a part of the book of Boba Fett. It seems like she owes him her life, so it's like that's not a bad bodyguard to have. Like Boba Fett can handle himself, like no problem, but it doesn't hurt having someone like her watching his back as well.
Plus, it's good to have like established actors, like other characters from the beginning of a show.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not all about Boba Fett, and like you can
So you need
already branch out a bit.
Yeah. You need someone to like play off of, just someone to talk to as well that we already are kind of familiar with, maybe, and like has a prior relationship with the character. But yeah, okay. I think nice. That does it then. Holy fucking shit! That was a lot, and that was
yeah.
That it ended up being a long one. I was about to say. That's what she said. But it
did.
But I definitely had a lot of fun. Like it's always fun talking Star Wars with you, or just talking to you.
Yeah, me too, man. I was like, what are we going to talk about for 2 hours? And then it's like, yeah, okay.
No problem.
The first 45 minutes went by without talking about Star Wars.
It actually did. And even talking about the future projects and everything. And there's even I know there's more we haven't talked about and haven't really gone into like what we might think some like the Ubisoft game is going to be about, the big open world game, but like there are so many possibilities there.
I just want a big game with lots of lightsaber fighting and lots of possibilities and spacecrafts and stuff.
Give me
Just
options.
give me all that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give
exactly.
me or something. And we also talked about like remastering some older Star Wars games earlier. Remaster Knights of the Old Republic. Like,
Yeah, that
do
wouldn't be
it
bad.
right
Yeah.
now. It's I will play the shit out of that game again if they choose to do that. Because I know
Yeah.
BioWare is doing that with the Mass Effect trilogy. So just go back and do it with Knights of the Old Republic as well. KOTOR. That's any KOTOR fans in the chat? I know that's definitely a big favorite amongst the Star Wars gamers.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
It's one of the games that people always talk about, isn't it?
It is.
It was awesome. Pod Racer was awesome as well. Yeah.
Yes. I was saying, yeah, Pod Racer played that so much as well.
Nice.
And I think one of the things that people really liked about Knights of the Old Republic was that it was a genuinely good story, like a really good story with twists and turns. And like if any of like those of you who haven't played it, like I'm not even gonna talk about the story. I don't want to spoil anything. It's so good. You have to experience it for yourself. It's like I know some people are saying like it's their second favorite, Star Wars story after Empire. Like it's really
nice,
good shit. It's really good. And yeah, gonna have to replay it at some point. Oh, and I see some people getting into the chat and saying hello now. At the end of the stream. Goodbye. No. Yeah, well, we've been going on for a while, yeah. As we said, and but it was so much fun, man. I'm so happy that you wanted to join me for this and just
of course,
talk
man,
Star
I'll do
Wars.
It.
And
we'll do it again sometime.
Yeah, fuck yes, let's do it again sometime. Then bring you on, and maybe even Alex, and I'm contemplating, just bringing on more and more guests. And I also want, the people out there to maybe get to know you guys as well, and maybe it's so that in the future and they can be like, oh, it would be awesome if you brought these people back to talk about this. And yeah, I would love to do something like that at least. And anytime you want to join, then you are more than welcome to do so.
Of course, man, of course.
And then let's
and
do some
we have
gaming.
to play that game together. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, we're gonna do some both Ghost of Tsushima Legends and probably also some Apex Legends.
Yeah, I'm game.
Yeah,
let's do it, man.
Let's do that. Because I know that when I was streaming Apex at some point, that people in the chat, even the ones that didn't know about the game or had never seen it before, was like, this seems like a lot of fun. Like, do more of this.
It's a high octane game, yeah.
Really is. Like it's entertaining just to watch. Like I don't even mind watching other people play it sometimes because you could just get into some crazy situations.
Definitely.
Sometimes it can also be a little bit boring when you just enter a game and then you play for 2 minutes and then you die, and then you enter a game and you play for 2 minutes and you die. But that's part of it. That's
the drama of life, isn't it? Yeah, exactly.
It is. Exactly. It really, really is. All right, yeah. I'm just checking the chat here to see if anyone is asking any questions. If you guys want to get any questions in here at the last minute, then please post them in the chat. Or we haven't gotten a lot of Streamlabs during this one, but you are of course still very much welcome to send in something through Streamlabs in the link that you can see right above Zach. On Streamlabs, yeah, there.
Yep.
It all helps, supports the channel, because this is what I am doing for a living. So it I can bring food to the table, even though
help a brother out.
Of course, Kat is the big provider with 2 jobs and and being a teacher and a researcher on the side, and then there's me just sitting here at home and doing my YouTube thing, but. It is what it is.
Brother. It's all important, man.
Yeah, exactly.
If anybody wants and has Spotify, you can go on Spotify, check out Fuld Effekt, my band, and just even if you're not listening to it, just give us a few plays, and that will help me vastly because I can't play any gigs right now. So this would be awesome. We're on any services you like. Full Effekt.
Mm.
It's in Danish, but I promise you, you will think it's fun.
Yeah. I'm gonna play the instrumental again when I close down the show and just
Nice.
yeah, I'm just gonna play us out in that way after we've said goodbye and everything.
Perfect.
So you guys can listen to it again. It's fucking awesome, funky music. As Zach said, even if you don't understand the lyrics, then I'm sure you can have a little party at home. We can't really go out and party that much at the moment, so we will have to do what we can. And so yeah, please check out Zach's band Full Effekt.
That would be fantastic.
I'm gonna put some links in the description of this video when the stream is done as well for
Thanks, man.
On Spotify and on your YouTube channel as well. Check out their videos.
Yes,
like, I helped out.
We have
with
videos
some of them.
as well.
Yeah. And we had a lot of fun doing that. We got to go to London like right before the fucking Corona thing
Right
broke
before
out.
everything shut down. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, and do like film a video there. That was so much fun. So I hope we can do something like that again very, very soon, or as soon as possible, whenever this fucking thing is over.
I promise you, as soon as we can, we will.
Yeah. That's perfect. And then sleep tight when you get there.
You too, mate.
You're also welcome to just stay on, and then and then we can talk afterwards. Or maybe we've talked a lot today, so maybe let's just text each other if there's anything we need to say, and we can maybe just talk tomorrow or something, and then talk about when we're gonna do some gaming on Twitch.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Hit me up anytime next week, and we'll do it.
Perfect. All right, I'm just gonna check the chat one last time to see if there's any last questions.
Someone says he's my father. If when Corona opens up, when the world opens up, let's get together. I'd love to meet you, Dad.
Oh yeah, that's bringing people together on this stream, like even family members. Oh my God. I'm sure it's a reference to the classical.
I thought so. I thought so.
Yeah. And then no questions. Just love the channel. Don't have any loot. Sorry. May the force be with you. No worries. Like it's a tough time for everybody out there. That's why I'm saying like any which way you want to support the channel, be it just like, subscribe, comment. That all helps as well. So yeah, that's gonna do it. I'm just gonna let Zach go here first. Then I'm gonna, or maybe no. Let's just the thing with both of us still on the screen. I think, and then I'll just play it out with the music. That sounds like a good thing. So yeah. Thank you all so much for joining this live stream, this third iteration or the third version or third show in the catch up with Sonny, my new live thing here. It is still very new. I'm still figuring out a lot of stuff, but having so much fun doing it and bringing on guests and talking with you guys. Yeah, see you next week for more. Don't know exactly what it's going to be about, but I'll let you know. Keep an eye on the community tab, schedules, all that good stuff, and may the force be with you always.
Always.
Architecture and what really you want to try to achieve here is to make Mars seem possible. Make it seem as though it's something that we can do in our lifetimes, and that you can go. And is there really a way that anyone can go if they wanted to? I think that's really the important thing.